Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Pod Tea. I think this is episode 6, I believe. I'm here guest with Ronnel.
Hi.
I'll put his Insta right here and whatever else he wants to be up there.
Yes.
Also be in the link in the description. Give yourself like a little intro to the fans.
Hi, I'm Ronnel. I went to Centennial High School, and I'm going to go to the University of Oregon starting in the fall. I don't know what else I would say.
Favorite food?
Sushi.
Why is that?
I think it's so simple, but it's so good. And it's like, I used to not like it when I was little, though.
Really?
Yes, I used to. Because when you're little, you're like raw fish. Ew, you know?
Yeah.
But then as I got older, I'm like, wait, this is actually pretty good, yeah.
That was me with like octopus and like calamari.
I still don't like octopus.
So you don't like calamari?
Okay, wait, I like calamari.
Okay, so when it's fried.
Yeah, when it's fried.
But when it's like, you see the tentacles?
Yeah, I can't.
Is it because it tastes or because it looks like that?
I think both.
No, it's understandable. It's kind of chewy. Not gonna lie.
Yeah,
not gonna lie. What's your least favorite food?
I'm trying to think. I've tried a lot of things. I think squirrel.
Squirrel?
Yes, my
You
family
had
hunts. They hunt squirrels during hunting season.
Okay.
And so I've had it.
Oh, whoa. So I feel like out of all the things you wouldn't want to have squirrel. 'Cause, like, they're so small. Like, there's like no meat on it. Technical difficulties. Anyways, squirrels. Like, they're so small. They're like. Also, how do you hunt that? That'd be so hard.
Don't ask me. Ask my family. Like, it's my mom's side, so it's my Asian side of the family, and they all they hunt during hunting season. They hunt deer, and it's usually just deer and squirrel. Like deer is fine. I can eat deer, but when they made me try squirrel, I didn't know I was trying a squirrel, and they're like, just try it, and I was like, why?
Okay, so at first, what do you think it was?
At first, I was like, is this like beef or something? But then they told me, I was like, that's gross.
So what made it gross? The
I think
initial
the-
taste, or like after they told you?
After they told me, I think when they told me it was squirrel, that's what made it gross to me. Because I'm like, I don't think I want to eat a squirrel again. You know, I see them dead all over the.
No, it's okay. That's how I feel about like, I don't know, balut. You know what that is?
Yeah,
It's like a Filipino dish.
my
where, like,
mom loves it.
I think it's really gross. I think it's not maybe because like the taste, it's just knowing that it's a baby duck that they killed
couldn't.
right after.
My mom bought a long time ago. My mom bought a few, and she took it out and started playing with it.
Oh, you don't just play with it.
And then she ate it.
Oh my gosh, that's so gross.
She does not care. And then she's like, try it or no? And I was like, I'm okay.
boundaries whatsoever.
I couldn't, no.
No, that's gross. I remember my parents had to trick me into doing it, like eating it, and I was
Really?
like, nope. I don't know. I feel like they also offered me to eat back in the Philippines where it's legal. They like offered me to eat like dog or like cat, and like I was so disturbed because I'm a little kid, right? And I'm just like, they're just like, you should try it. I'm like, what is it? It's like before I ate it, and they're like, oh, it's like dog. And I'm like, And I was like, no, because like that's the thing though, because like our family at the time in the Philippines, they also had a dog. So it's just like, don't just feed us while there's a dog right there.
I couldn't, no.
You can't just eat chicken right in front of a chicken. Like, no, that's okay, maybe, but no, that's just like it was gross.
No, yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that.
So yeah, okay, let's get into some of the questions that I have. First question is, how did you like Centennial High School, in your opinion? You went all 4 years, right?
Yes, I went all 4 years. I would say, okay, I wish I got a better education, but I guess the education I got was fine. And I think the experience in itself was pretty fine for me, actually. I could have went a lot worse, considering I'm gay. It could have went a lot worse, and so it's like, no one ever said anything to me, or no one ever because everyone just minded their own business. I feel like when it came to everyone else, and so my experience was pretty fun. If anything, I wouldn't see, because I had the option, because if I never moved, I could have went to David Douglas, and if I had to choose between the two, I would have went to Centennial, just because I don't know. I feel like people at Centennial just don't care about what you do. and
Yeah.
things like that. And so I'm like, overall, the experience of high school, like going there, was pretty fine. I just wish I got like, I guess, a better education, even though the teachers did what they could with what they got, basically. Yeah.
That makes sense. What were like the bad things about high school? It's like for sure there's a lot.
Yeah,
Of
there's a few bad things. I think the way that they ran the school, whether it was like administration
Oh,
or
yeah.
just like the principals and things like
They're
that,
really
because
strict.
I don't think I don't necessarily fault the teachers for anything, because I got like pretty good teachers like throughout the 4 years. It was more about how the administration kind of took a disregard for the students rather than an actual like listen to the students and then see what they want. They just kind of took what they thought was right for us and went with it. Whether that be like, well, my senior year, they were a lot more strict in terms
Oh,
of like
heck yeah.
just everything, and like even like. And to me, it's like, yes, you can be more strict, but you kind of have to phase it in. You can't just be strict right away, because then students are going to get mad. You know, you have to implement things correctly and like timely for people to get used to them, versus like just like kind of going all out and be like, no going outside of campus, or like you really need the
That was
off-campus
really
pass
strict.
now, and blah, blah blah blah. And like even the security guards, like at least like, not Spacey, but like everyone else, they're all like, if they trusted you already, they're not gonna say anything to you, you know? Whether that was like Brian or like things like that. It's like he would see me and Kayla come back from 7-8 with food. He's like, "Do you guys have off-campus passes?" And we would just be like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Yeah, we trust you. Like, it's fine. It's whatever." So even then, like, I just think it started turning more into a dictatorship rather than like a place where students can feel comfortable, like just like doing what they want. And obviously there needs to be some rules, but I think the way that they went about implementing like a bunch at the same time was really bad. Yeah. And I think other than that, I can't really think of any other bad things. I think it was literally just administration though. It was just pretty bad throughout. Because like when I came in freshman year, things were a lot more lenient than they were now.
Oh yeah, same with my freshman year too. It was really lenient.
And it was like, if I compared my freshman year to my senior year, freshman year was like, I guess 10 times better in terms of like what people could do, just because it was very held back, I guess, in terms of like how they enforce rules and things like that. Versus like once I like left and like graduated, I realized like they like really switched up their attitudes like heavily in between those 4 years. And to me, it was like, I don't know what changed in their minds, but something must have had to happen, or like they must have saw something in like maybe our records, or like I guess like our like accomplishments versus like things like that, or just how students are doing. They must have saw something and were like, we need to change something. But even then, I don't think students were doing that bad when I was like a freshman or something. And so, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like going back to the point where like you're saying how like our accomplishments like have been like going down and stuff. Like I feel like restricting us wouldn't help with that. You know, it would just like encourage people to like rebel more.
Yeah.
You know, less rules means less rebellion. I mean, that's just kind of how it is. Because there's no reason to rebel. And like you know how like you heard about how they're pushing the school time to like 30 minutes back because they feel like, oh, if you know students get more sleep, they'll become more successful. But it's like no, it's just giving students more of a reason to like go to bed late and like waste time.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff.
I literally told my brother, I was like, you're gonna go to bed 30 minutes later than you do now, because I mean, seniors, it's like any senior with like late start, they just went to bed an hour late. This is what I did at least. Like, why wouldn't I? You know, I have more, because like we stay up. Like,
Yeah.
that's just how teenagers function, I guess. Like, a lot of them just stay up, generally. And so it's like, oh, I have more time to stay up? Okay, cool. I thought of it that way rather than thinking of like, oh, I have more time to sleep. Okay, I should sleep like the same time I usually do. And so it's like, it's not gonna, I don't think it's gonna work that well, if I'm being honest. It's gonna be a lot later
Yeah.
for kids. And I don't, especially during the winter time where it gets like dark really fast, it's like you don't want that for them, because some of them might have to walk home and things like that, and that's not safe.
They're just thinking about themselves though. You know?
Yeah.
Just on the low. No shade.
No shade, but It's true. It's true, and it's like that's why I'm very excited for college because I have the freedom to do whatever I want, basically.
Must be nice. Must be nice. Um, Now let's get into some of the kind of requested questions. Now I got like four. Yeah, I got four requested questions from Nick and Maddie. Shout out to you guys. The first question is, uh, how's your okay? So obviously when you're going to high school, you take some classes for languages and get that language credit. You took French.
They know I took French.
Yes. How's your French experience?
I already know why I peer tutored for them.
They wanted to see what you wanted to say.
Oh. Mine was fine. I mean, Madame is crazy, but I love her.
No, like specific memories that you.
Oh, there's a ton of like. There's just a bunch of inside jokes, I guess, for like in terms of like the class. Because when I took it, a lot of us became really close. I mean, but then so Madame forced most of us to take French third year, which wasn't even a class before we did it, and I dropped that after the first semester. I was like, I'll see you later, bro. But I've been peer tutoring for her since sophomore year. And so like that's been a very like it's been fun. Well, at least my first two classes that I peer tutored for were like amazing. Like the first one was like really they were all funny, like both classes were really funny. And that's why I did it like for senior year too. But then Nick and Maddie's class was so boring. Like I didn't show up almost all the second semester basically. Like I was there maybe once a week. And I would just text Madame and be like, I'm not coming to class, and she wouldn't mark me absent, basically.
Wow.
Because it's just like, and there's no point in me being there. I would only go there if she needed like help or like needed me to like grade stuff. Because like, there's two peer tutors in that class, but I was really the only one who knew how to like put things in the grade. Like she trusted me with her computer to put in things to the grade book. Like I could do whatever I wanted, basically. And especially when I could do that sophomore year. We're not gonna talk about that.
You changed your grade. I'm not surprised. If anyone had that
Changed
opportunity.
a lot of people's grades actually.
Yeah.
I helped out everyone. I would give. It was mostly me like putting in homework points for people because those are very low stakes, but they like cost a lot basically. So I would just be like, oh, here's a few extra points. Basically.
Just to like kind of boost up the grade.
And I'm sure she knew.
But
I'm
she didn't
sure
care.
she didn't care. Or like, she leaves her quizzes and tests out in the open. So what did I do? I grabbed that. Like, it was very fun. It was a very funny class for me, but it was fun. It was fun. I think my French do I wish I knew more French? Yes. But can I generally read it? Yes. Because it's not as complicated to me as like, say I was learning like Japanese, where it's not even like the letters that we're used to. So to me, it's not as complicated. So like, for like 3 years, I was stuck in this class reading the same language. So like now when I I see something on Twitter, I can generally get an idea of what someone's saying in French. Or like even when they speak it too, which is nice. It means that I at least retain something.
Yeah, at least you
But
learned
like,
something.
3 years for French. Did I really need it? No. I needed just the 2 years, but like I stuck with it because I just liked Madame basically. And she relied on me too much. Yeah, I did. Cause like I did a lot. Cause like peer tutors really help teachers, whether that be like them grading like quizzes that they need to be graded or like tests and things like that, or just generally getting like chores done around the classroom. It's like I did all that stuff just because it was my job. I mean, I kind of considered it a job just with a grade.
Yeah, that is true.
And it was easy A.
I bet. Especially if you could just change your grade.
Yes. I mean, she never changed my grade below an A, so whenever she did, I'd just be like, here's more points for me.
Or I could just think about it like if you had someone in that class that you didn't like, you like, just, you know, give them some less points, you know? Damn.
I never did that though.
Good. I feel like you don't really beef with a lot of people.
I didn't see, there's people who are like annoying in classes, but they would always be nice to me because they knew I could change their grades, or like, I could give them more points than they actually deserve. Like, when I graded their books, I like flipped it open and I would close it and I'd give people full points, because I'm like, I know the struggle.
Yeah. It's understandable. Another requested question. What's your opinion on Maddie McCone?
She really asked.
I'm not gonna say who asked. I'm gonna keep that anonymous.
I love her. She's great. She's amazing. I mean, I just barely knew her in 6th grade because we went to the same school,
What school again?
Lynch Meadows. But then, like,
Isn't it called? Oh wait, no, never
it's
mind.
called Meadows now.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I like barely like briefly knew her in 6th grade because she was in the other class. So, but like I knew of her, and then middle school I like barely talked to her. But then I don't think it was like I honestly think it was till like last year until when we really started like just like noticing each other and like being like, hi Maddie, and she like hey hi back to me and stuff. But then senior year I was obviously in her class for French. And so, like, I helped her out a lot in terms of, like, giving her points. Or
Yeah.
like, just, like, grading her stuff, basically.
Yeah, she told me about
Yeah,
that.
she's a great person. I mean, there's not much else to say about her. She looks like she's living her best life in OSU right now. And I'm so jealous that she's already there.
Yeah, apparently they're like really wilding over there. She like FaceTimed me like a week ago, or like actually a couple days ago, and she just like told me all the tea, and I was just like, whoa!
I
like,
don't doubt
like,
it.
That's all that happened after 1 week.
I'll FaceTime you too. I'll let you know.
You gotta let me know what happened to UW, bro. Oh my gosh.
I'm not going to UW. You
Oh,
will.
UW. UO, same team.
I wish I was going to UW.
Everybody wish they were going to UW.
The school's too hard to get into.
It is too much
for
money.
for what it is, it's not. It shouldn't be that hard to get into. If I'm being completely honest, like out of our class, 3 people got in that I know.
Who were the people?
Yoni, if you know who that is.
Yeah.
Dylan Herring, if you know who that is.
Really?
And Michaela. Susie.
Chill.
But-
the one that's dating too.
They're not dating, but like yeah.
I think. It's okay. They probably don't watch this anyways.
But yeah, those 3 are the only 3 that I knew in our class that got into UW, which is like, I would have expected more because there's a lot of like very qualified people to go there at least, but I guess not.
A lot of colleges are just really strict. That's what I've noticed. After like starting to see like all the schools that people are going to and the schools that they should be going to, they're really strict. They're really strict. Like for example, like Austin Pang, like he's like a god in like school, and then what? He got like declined from like a really top like Ivy League school, even though he's like basically qualified for it. Like
It's a tough life. That's
It
all
is
I'm
a
gonna
tough
say.
life.
But I mean, I guess everything happens for a reason.
yeah,
And especially, I think a general rule of thumb, which is like good to stick by, is like for your undergrad, so like your bachelor's degree, you don't need to go to a top tier school.
yeah.
Because if you're gonna get a master's, go to a top school with that. You want to boast about that one. Your bachelor's, I mean, I think anywhere would be fine, if I'm being honest. Because, like, yeah.
Yeah, and like even then, like after college, if you don't use that degree after 3 years, it doesn't even matter anymore.
Yeah.
But, like work doesn't even look about that. They want the experience after that. And like I feel like in the end, experience beats a degree.
Yes, but then people still expect people to get degrees. I don't know. It's very.
Does your parents expect you to get a degree?
No.
So really, you don't even have to go to college,
No.
but you want to anyways.
Yes. I think it's just because, like. Well, I mean, I guess, like, throughout, like, when I was little, it's very, like. Because I'm the oldest. So I'm, like, the example for all my siblings, basically. And so it's like, since I'm the oldest, I had to be responsible and I had to be caring, I had to watch them, and then I also had to be like a good person and I shouldn't do anything bad, and blah, 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 blah. I also had to be good at school and like go to college. And like, it's like expectations that like aren't necessarily pushed on you, but like also are.
Yeah.
Just because you are the oldest sibling, so you want to be a good example for your younger siblings.
So let's say you were the youngest, and you were given the option to not go to college.
I probably still would, if I'm being honest. Well, see, growing up in like the different stages of like the siblings is very different. Like if like the oldest to like the middle to like the youngest, like they're very different stages of life for at least parents.
Agreed.
And so it's like, even if I was the youngest, if I still thought the way I did now, where I was like, I wanted to get a better education anyways, like I wanted to keep going, I probably still would have went. Just because if not for the education, more for the experience too, because everyone wants to get away from home sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
And so I think it would have benefited me anyways if I was the youngest too.
That makes sense. Next question. I think this is from Nick.
How are you keeping them anonymous?
What? Okay, so something that a lot of people don't know, or at least the people here, they don't. So your roommate is obviously gonna be Alex for the next 4 years. First of all,
Only for the next year.
next year,
Yeah, you only dorm for 1 year if you want to.
and then what? You're gonna leave him?
No, well, no, but like you never know.
If you're watching this, Alex, he doesn't want to live with you. He doesn't want to live with you. He hates you.
Yeah, I do hate you.
Well, he is abusive. So makes
Don't
sense.
say that on the internet. They're actually gonna think it's right.
It's my
true.
podcast. I can say whatever I want.
They're gonna think it's true.
He's not actually abusive. He just plays a lot.
If he wants to live together more, then yeah, I would totally be down for it. But I'm saying like, it's usually just that year, the freshman year. But anyways, keep going on your question.
Well, when was the first time you met Alex?
Freshman year.
Freshman year.
Yeah.
What was your first impression?
Pre-AP, freshman, which was now like honors world studies or something. But it was in that class. I was all the way in the back, and then he sat right in front of me with Austin, and so it was kind of like Austin kind of introduced me to him. But like even in that class, I didn't know him much. I didn't really start talking to him until second semester of that year because we had sociology together, and then we ended up sitting next to each other.
Okay.
But my first impression of him was like, I don't really remember. I think I thought he was a little weird.
He is kind of weird.
Or like just kind of interesting. I was like, because first of all, back then I was never really close to any guys, and I wasn't even close to him. But like, I just thought he was very interesting. I was like that was my first. He was very weird and interesting. I could say
Yeah.
Because I didn't know much about him. I only knew him when I went to class. I didn't know him outside of school basically. So it was kind of just like I knew what I knew of him, what he's told me basically. So like, he was just a very weird person. But that's
And then over time, obviously, you guys' friendship kind of grown and you guys got closer. Would you consider him like one of your like best friends?
Yeah, I'm living with him. I mean, obviously you don't need to be best friends with the person that you're living with, but for me, I like the fact that I consider him my best friend because I feel more comfortable living with him versus like if I chose just some random dude.
Do you need to get that?
No, it's just my sister.
Oh, just your sister. Okay.
Yeah, no, like if I were to just choose a random guy, I'd be a little scared just because you don't know how someone acts, basically. So yeah, I consider him a good friend, like a best friend, basically, yeah.
What's your like favorite memory of just you guys? And there's no boundaries, so say whatever.
This bitch irritates. Oh, sorry. I was at his house. I think we were like trying to find a game to play, or like he was. And so his monitor was hooked up to his TV, so and then out of the corner of my eye, you see this file, and it says my name. He calls me Ron or Ronnie, and I see my name. I'm like, what is that? Click that. He's like, oh, I don't know what that is. The file's name is Ron Gets Ass Ran by Superior Player, and it's literally a recording because we play Pokemon online, like Pokemon Showdown, so we just battle each other, and he won that game and he downloaded the video, and it was just that whole video of him like beating me, and the fact that he named the file that Ron Gets Ass Ran by Superior Player, we laughed for like 5 minutes straight basically because I was like, are you kidding me? The one time you beat me in this game, you save it, and it's like that.
I bet that's what he thinks now. Like every day, just in everyday life, he's like, I'm the superior player, and you're just, I'm ramming you.
Yes, that's what he always thinks actually.
Yeah. He's like, the things that he told me, like how he's gonna treat you when you guys go to college, it's like,
He still does that.
like I'm scared for you. It's just like, are you gonna be okay?
I'm gonna be fine. It's just a joke.
I know it's just a joke, but it's just like, oh, it got like really like how you explain it, it got like really specific, and I was just like, damn son. It's like, oh my gosh.
It's how we banter. It's funny to me actually, but
That's a good friendship, though. That's a good friendship.
yeah.
Um, I feel like there's something else that he wanted to ask you. What's like your worst experience with him?
Alex?
Everybody got those moments where you're just like, damn, I don't want to remember this day with this guy.
I don't remember. I don't tend to. I don't think I've had any bad experiences with Alex really.
You guys never got in like an argument or anything?
He's not one to argue, and I'm not one to argue either. I think that's why we work well as roommates.
Good, good.
But I've never argued with him. I've never. And if I ever have had like a little problem, I would just talk to him about it. So it's like it's no big deal basically. But yeah, I've never been like hate you. Like I've never actually hated him, or like I've never actually like was mad at him, and which is surprising considering. Well, that might change the next year.
Yeah, you're gonna be with him 24/7.
Okay, maybe.
Maybe.
But I mean, like, obviously that's different because like we're living with each other, so we're in very close proximity with each other. Versus like now, like I see him like every week basically, multiple times a week sometimes. But it's like he's never done anything to me where it's like I've never felt any way, like any type of way, or like I don't think I've ever done anything to him to where it made him feel any type of way. And if I ever did, he would tell me, and vice versa. So
That's a good friendship. It's a good friendship.
I hope so.
I hope so. Hopefully it works out when you guys go to college.
I think we'll be fine.
It'd be really bad if you guys like started hating each other then.
That would make me kind of sad.
That would be sad. Like, what would you do? Like, you can't live with anyone else.
I know. I think that even though that would be sad, I don't think that would happen.
Yeah.
Just because we're very well. I like communication, and so does he. And that's the thing. If you're living with someone, you need to communicate with them. And even then, if you're just friends with someone, you need to communicate with them anyways. So it's like, I think we'll like bicker. Like I think we'll be like a little passive aggressive, but like nothing too major to where it's like we'll start hating each other.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you guys like finalized like what you guys gonna be splitting when you guys go to college? Like, what are you gonna get? What is he gonna get?
Well, okay, so I already have a mini fridge,
Okay.
so that one's going. Other than that, I think I'm gonna make him bring his Keurig, but like we haven't went like shopping yet, and so in terms of like decorating and things like, because like our room's small, so even if we wanted to put like more things there, we really couldn't. And so I think once we go like shopping, that's when we'll be like, okay, I want this as decoration. We both want this one thing, so we'll split that and things like that. Because it's hard to like say when you don't even know the truth. Like I haven't walked into our actual room. Like the only dorm I stayed at orientation was like a larger double room, and so like that's not our room. And so I don't know. I don't actually have a feel for how big it is. And so like I'm expecting us to go to Target. Well, okay, I'm expecting us to go shopping like before we go to school, obviously, just like see how things, what we want. But then I also expect us to like go once we move in, like over there, and like really be able to determine like okay what we need and what we don't need and stuff like that.
That makes sense. Imagine you guys got bunk beds. Imagine you guys got bunk beds.
Oh my god, we could put our beds together, like we could bunk them, but I'm okay.
Because top bed.
He would take top bed. I like bottom bunk.
Yeah, understandable. And I don't know why this came up. I forgot why they asked this, but James Charles. I don't know. They asked this. I
You
don't
just
know.
said James Charles' name.
No, yeah, they're just like, what's your opinion on him and the situation? And like,
Situation?
well, you heard about the drama with him?
Yeah.
I
I
don't know, they just
mean,
asked it.
it's funny. I don't care.
You don't care?
I don't. I think he's a good artist. I will give him that. He's good at what he does. But other than that, I don't pay attention to him really. Just
Okay, same
'cause-
here.
Really?
I don't actually. I don't. All I know is that one, he's like really bad at singing apparently.
Yes.
Two, he has really good makeup.
Yes.
Three, there was a conspiracy theory going around how in his videos he looked different from how he looks in real life, and it's just because he edits his
Oh yeah.
his like face just so that it like matches up with the angle and the lighting and stuff. I think that was pretty funny. It's like people would really go all the way to do that, and then
Oh yeah, especially in that community and the what he does. Yeah,
yeah,
you have to look. But
would you go up to that extent to do that?
because I think with makeup at least, you want to show people what it really looks like on someone, and then you don't want to present unrealistic expectations, because there already is so many in the world for people. So it's like, if I have this foundation on my face, I want to show you what it actually looks like versus like what it looks like under like studio, like $1,000 studio lighting and like an HD 4K camera. You know, I'd rather show it in like natural lighting where like, you can really see what it truly looks like on my skin versus like. I think the only extent I will go for editing photos if it's like I'm posting a picture on Instagram and like my skin look a little bumpy, you know, or like because like every beauty influencer does that. Like every single one that I follow, they do that. But also, it's still bad. Like you still shouldn't do that because it does create unrealistic expectations for people. But like in terms of James Charles, like yeah, like I said, he's a good artist, but like I don't really care much about him. I mean, things that he's done is like weird, like stupid.
Yeah.
But like other than that, it's like I don't got much to say about him. Really.
Well, I guess that kind of goes into our next topic. Yes, you look good. You look good. You can stop checking yourself out.
It's a habit.
So, if I know you said this, but to viewers, if you guys haven't heard, he is gay. Ronnel is gay. You are pretty open about it too now. I guess my first question is like, when was like the first time you first realized that you were gay?
I think I was like really little. Like I was little, and I think I was in like first grade maybe, because you know how when you're a little kid and you're like, oh my god, that's your girlfriend, or like, you know, things like that. People would do that to me with like, because I generally gravitated towards the girls more. I was like friends with a bunch of them, but then people would just be like, oh, Ronnel, are they like, is any one of them your girlfriend? I'm like, no. Like I just like care for them as like friends, but like obviously when you're little, it's not like that. It's like no, you like her, like blah blah blah. But then I think that's when I realized it's like, yeah, I don't actually like these girls. Like that's different. But then I didn't think of it, like think much of it. And then obviously I grew up and things like that. But then like when I truly was like, maybe something's a little off. I think I was in like 6th or 7th grade when I was like, yeah, there's something different about me. But I didn't want to admit it. I didn't want to be like,
Admit it to yourself?
Like
or to
admit it
others?
to myself.
Oh.
I was like, I can't, because growing up, my family, like, there wasn't necessarily a negative connotation on being gay, but like, I think growing up and like your peers around you, there might be just like a little bit, or like, there's like certain things that aren't necessarily deemed as negative, but can be affected. Like, it can affect someone who is like trying to figure out who they are, because it's like, whether it be like someone using the word gay as like an insult or like things like that, you know, though they might not seem like much of a big deal, especially when you're like coming to terms with who you are, it's a very it can affect someone, because then you're like, no, I can't be gay, you know, I can't like people will think bad about me and things like that. I guess that's how it was for me, at least in 6th grade. But then in 7th grade, I was like, yeah, no, you're fucking gay, like you're pretty gay. And then 8th grade, that's when I started like telling like friends around me and stuff, and they're like, yeah, I'm gay. But then once freshman year came around, I was, instead of like coming out to like everyone around me, I just kind of like stayed where I was, like I was comfortable for where I was, and then people asked me to just be like, yeah, like I got really comfortable in in that year or so, and also that's the year I came out to my family, and so like once that happened, I got really comfortable, and so I was just like, yeah, I am who I am, like.
That's cool. That's cool. I remember, okay, so my brother's also gay, or a half brother, and like, I don't think he came out until college, and like, he kind of had the same situation as you, like, all the girls liked him, and like, all the guys were like, dude, why don't you get into the girls, and he's just like, I don't know, I just don't like them, and then when he got to college, and he met his future fiance, I think, and then he was like, okay, shit, I am gay, and I forgot how my parents describe it, but I think okay, so my parents they're kind of like they're really religious, right? And like at the end of the day, they're gonna love you no matter what, because that's also what our religion tells us. But I think their first reaction was really surprised. I think like I don't know. I think my mom was like really shocked. Same with my dad. But at the same time though, I feel like my dad was kind of like not really surprised because he was just like, oh, okay, he quit all the sports he was in like halfway through, and he was in drama. And he like danced. Yeah. No, I'm not throwing shade to any of the drama kids. It's just like, you know, like Nami and my sister did that, and like I don't know. It's just like my dad looked at it as like, okay, you know, he avoided all the sports, avoided all the girls, and did drama, and like, yeah, it just seemed kind of fishy, and it was just like, okay, now it makes sense. So I don't think he was as shocked, but he was just shocked. So yeah. Well, what was your like guys? So I said my like parents like first reaction. What was your parents' first reaction to you coming out?
My mom, I cried when I told my mom because I was happy, but like she was like, you know, I still love you, like a very like good reaction, like yeah, like you know, like I don't care now, like you know, I love you no matter what. And then my dad, it took him a little time, just like a little time, but then after he was like, yeah, I still love you, like whatever. The rest of my family, they're like, yeah, me too. All of them were like, yeah, we figured. Whatever.
Damn. Well,
Even my grandma, she's like, I raised you. Like, do you think I didn't know? And I was like, whoa,
wow,
okay.
okay, whoa. What about your friends? Like, did growing up, did your friends knew that you were like gay, or they're
I think all the people I met in like 7th grade, because I was really like, that was my second year at Centennial in general. Once I came out in like 8th grade, they were like, yeah. They're like, yeah, we figured. We all kind of figured. Most of them figured. Some of them were like, oh, really? But then a lot of them were just like, yeah.
Were they all supportive about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
If they weren't, then I wouldn't be friends with a lot of them now, too.
Yeah. Did you have any friends who like kind of like, was there any people in general who just like didn't support you and were just like, dude, what the fuck? You know?
There's one, but I didn't find out. So there's one girl named Alona. She's in my grade, and I think it was freshman year, honors English. Like we had like an honors English like table, obviously, but then like our group ended up being like getting like really close for like the next like 2 years. But that junior year, we're in AP Gov, and we're just like bouncing around, like we're like going to one side of the room and then the other side of the room if you agree or disagree and stuff like that. And Rachel mentioned gay marriage, and she was on the disagree side. And I was like, I've been your friend for 2 years, girl. What?
And she did it. Oh.
No. I was like, then what the hell do you think about me? You know? And so I kind of just cut her. Because I was like, there's no point in trying to talk about it with her, because that already told me clear enough. Like,
if you don't support it.
yeah, I'm like, doesn't make sense, because then if you don't support gay marriage, then what the fuck do you think about me? You know? Like, what? Who am I to you then? Because like we were a pretty good group for like the past 2 years, and so then I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting.
That is interesting. That's like, even especially for 2 years, it's just like,
Yeah.
how can you be friends with someone if you don't support it? It's like saying, oh, like I'm a Democrat, and then almost I'm dating a Republican, but like they just never said anything, and then they eventually like, oh, I just don't know how to do
Yeah.
that, you know. Now growing up, like I know you said like, how you were explaining it. It seemed like it was kind of easy, but like, was there any difficulties at the time? At any point, like, was there times where it's just like, I'm assuming it took you a while before you could tell your parents.
Yes, it took me till freshman year. But in terms of difficulties, not really. I think the general like, do you have a girlfriend question got like annoying to me, but like, other than that, it was kind of just like, I kind of just chilled throughout my whole childhood. I didn't really do much in terms of like trying to figure out my sexuality until I got older, like 7th grade, 8th grade, and things like that. And so it was like, I guess throughout like the other half of my childhood, I just didn't do much in terms of that. Like I just stuck with what I stuck with, you know. I was still friends with like all the girls and like things like that, but I didn't think much of it. Basically, I just was like, yeah, that's just how it is, you know. And no one else really thought much of it either. They're like, whatever, you know.
So like, you never got like bullied for it or anything. That's good. That's good.
Which is, yeah, that's
That's really
good. Yeah.
There's a lot of cases where people like literally like get bullied so to the point where like they just like move.
Yeah.
And like, or like,
Yeah.
people get killed for it too. And it's just like, whoa, whoa. Have you like? Okay, so like I looked up some like did some little bit of research and like pulled up some facts. Obviously it's obviously well known, but like there's a lot of like unequal treatment just for in general for like all gays or like just LGBT people in general. Like one fact is health insurance. Like it said that from comparing straight to what was it LGBT people, like 83% get health insurance, and LGBT people they get like it's 71% of people, and it's just like why is there like such a huge gap? Like the only difference is that you guys are just like you guys like the same sex, but it's just like that to me is like mind-boggling. It's just like why would anyone be treated like why would you treat someone like it's like is it that big of a deal? Like
No.
no, it's
No.
not.
No, it
And it's
shouldn't
like
be.
you guys should be treated equally.
Yeah.
Another thing, obviously, is like the murder rate. You guys have like a
That was in my last college English essay. I wrote about it.
really?
Yeah.
What did you say about
Well,
it?
I wrote about, I think, what was my essay about? It was about gay people. And I think I talked about, I compared what it was like to being gay in like the 80s and the 90s versus being gay now and how much it hasn't really changed in terms of like murder rates and just rates in general. And like what I did find out was like the murder rates between like the 90s or like the 2000s, like early 2000s versus like now have only gone down like 1% or something. And so
Yeah, that's just crazy. Like what? I don't know. It's really sad about that.
Yeah.
Another thing is like I looked up. There's a lot of employment discrimination.
Yeah.
I forgot what the rate was, but it was like people who are gay, like they have a less chance of actually like getting a job compared to people who are straight. And also, especially if you're like a colored gay, like that also is just
like even if there is non-discrimination laws like put out, like the people who hire you still have certain prejudices against gay people or against people of color. So it's like it's really hard because like if you don't get hired, you can't necessarily say it's because it's because I'm gay or it's because I'm Asian or something like that. You know, it's mostly just be like because then if you assume that about something like why you got fired, then it's like okay, then is it really why I got fired or not? You know, and so it's very hard because it could very well be the fact that I'm gay or the fact that I'm Asian or I'm Mexican or like I'm just a different race than they are. You know.
yeah. If you had to give any advice, like any people, because I'm sure there's like for you, you were really confident growing up. Like you kind of just like were like really relaxed about it. You're like, okay, I'm just gonna like just own up to it. I accept it, and if other people don't accept it, I'm just cutting them off. But there's obviously also there's that big population of gays or just LGBT people who aren't really the most comfortable opening up to it. What like advice would you give to them if they were here right now listening?
I guess, okay, this sounds kind of like cliche, but I guess it's like, it takes time, and it will all come when it's kind of, not destined to come, but like, it will all come through when it should, whether it's like, you're like kind of just figuring out your sexuality, or like you're in a tough situation in terms of like your parents not supporting you, and things like that, it will all get better, hopefully, and it's like, it's hard to say that, because it may never get better, but it's also like, you need to try and have hope, even though you might be losing hope, and really just try to surround yourself with people that really care for you and support you, and even then, if you don't have any people like that, the internet is such a vast place now, and it's such a great place for support systems and things like that. And so like find your people online too, and really just kind of like hone in on like who you really are, whether you're gay, or you're bi, or you're pan, or you're trans. It's like try finding people that support you as well as you can, but also try your hardest to get out of the situations that you're in if you are in tough situations, and just really try and stick it out, because even though that sounds like really like easier said than done, like, but for me it was like, yeah, it was chill about it, but there was times where I was like Like, am I really gay, or like, is that even like a good thing, you know? And I really just let time take its course because I had the time. Some people might not have the time, you know. Some people might be at risk for like being kicked out and things like that. But I guess it's always like try to find people around you that really support you, because if you do get kicked out and things like that, you very well could have like a plan B and things like that, or just try finding other family members who support you. Like, your parents don't have to be the one who wants to support you, you know? If they don't, then it's like, yes, that's very disheartening. Yes, that really sucks. But also, say you have an aunt or an uncle, you know, that'll take you in too, you know? And it's just really try to find people that love you, because at the end of the day, what you're going to want, what you're going to need is love and support versus like anything else, basically.
That's some good advice. Some good advice for sure. I just actually thought about another question too. Thanks for the advice though.
Yeah.
I hope that helps you guys, whoever is out there struggling with that issue. Another question is, growing up, you know, do you have any crushes?
Yeah, of course.
You wanna like talk about it? You wanna like name something?
I don't know if I can. Well, if I'm being honest, you know one. You know both of them actually. I've only ever had two. I told you.
Yeah.
You make jokes about one of them.
I do. Okay, now I remember. You don't gotta say their names.
I don't think I'm gonna say their name.
Have you, with those two crushes of yours, did you ever feel like at one point that they had a thing for you? Never?
There's like hopeful moments, you know, things that you kind of stretch for. You're like, maybe this is something, but like, other than that, no, probably not. I don't think so, because the first one lasted for like 3 years. You have to be really whipped for someone.
The one who. Oh, okay.
That one lasted for like 3 years, and so it's like you have to be really like whipped for someone to stay for that long. But even in those 3 years, I didn't get any hint of like, yeah, he likes me.
Dang. Maybe he was just holding it back this whole time. And he'll look at this video and be like, damn, I should have said something.
No, that's never gonna happen.
Who knows?
I love him to that still, but not like that.
Let's just say hypothetically, like, let's say you guys were, like, he wasn't, and like you guys didn't hook up. How do you guys think you guys would work out? Like, would you guys even be able to last that long? Like, potentially get married? Okay, maybe I'm just like stretching out too far. Maybe get into college. You know, like the first year, let's just say you guys were like friends, and then he was just like, I like you too. Like, do you guys think you would be able to last, or like would it be one of those relationships where it's like, okay, I guess you're gay, but doesn't mean I have to like you?
That's a very tough question because that's very hypothetical. I think we would be able to last like a good amount of time. I don't know if all the way to college, because like I went through a lot like freshman sophomore year, so that's like a lot of emotional baggage for me, and so like he grew a lot since like I met him to now. Like he's grown into such a different person, and so like I don't think it would last all the way until now. I really doubt. I think it would last maybe until our junior year or so, and then I don't see us like if we did date, I wouldn't have seen us like ending in bad terms or anything. I think it would have been more benefited for like even me or him, or like for both of us in general. Yeah, I don't think it would have lasted.
What would be the deal breaker though? Like what would have ended it?
Probably him being very non-communicative and unemotional. Maybe. Just because like that's how he used to be. And so like I probably would have gone like a little tired of it, you know. But I think that would have been it probably. Especially since they did go through so much freshman sophomore year. I would have had a lot of like, you know, just like emotions in general, and so like I would have needed someone to like be able to just like not deal with me, but like be able to like help me out or just be there to support me and stuff like that.
And he wouldn't be able to do that for that long?
I don't know if he could. Well, at least back then. Like now, yes, definitely. But like back then, I don't think so. I feel like he used to be very like emotionally undeveloped, I guess. It is like even when my wife was crushing on him, like even getting him to like show any like
Express.
express his emotions is hard, but when it happened, it's very like good. But like now he just
does it.
yeah.
Okay, that's good. And I'm assuming it's all because of you, though. That helped him do that.
I don't think it's just all because of me, but I would like to think yes.
What about the other person, though? No? You guys want to last?
Maybe for some money.
He is a sugar daddy.
But
for
like,
sure.
I don't think so. Really, no. Because like even when we did talk with each other, they were kind of dry conversations too. Like they weren't like the most exciting things. And I need someone who's good at conversation or
Yeah.
conversating at least, you know. So it was very hard. Yeah. But I don't think it probably only lasted like a few months. If I'm being honest.
And then the breaker would be he's just too bland.
Huh?
He's too bland. That would
Yeah.
have ended it. Okay. You don't gotta say their names, obviously. You can tell me though.
Uh-huh.
Then I'll know who you're talking about. But like, if there was someone at a, let's just like narrow that down to your class. If there was anyone you wish you could have gotten at in your past 4 years, let's just say they were gay.
Uh-huh.
You know, who would you get at?
This is a tough question. Because I think all the guys in my class are gross. No offense. I love y'all. Actually, no. I don't know half y'all. But I don't know. That's very tough because throughout my 4 years of high school, I met guys, but like I was never friends with them, or like a majority of them. Like it was more acquaintances for a lot of the guys that I met. So like, probably no one. I don't think so.
Okay, let's just make it a little bit more broad then. Anybody from like all of the classes that you met. So even people that like when you were a freshman, because I think I know some of them.
They remind me of the seniors my freshman year. They were so hot. They really were.
They were probably popping.
Oh no, like the seniors my freshman and sophomore year, they were like some of the best senior classes.
Yeah, the senior class from my freshman year.
Ooh. But I'm trying to think, like, there's like this one senior that was a senior when I was a freshman. I don't know his name at all, but he sat right in front of me in sociology. And I was just like, look at his back and be like, yeah, he's no. Oh my god, I didn't know his name though. Probably him.
That's funny though. That's really funny. Especially because you're just looking at his back.
Well, I mean, I saw his face when he came in, but like,
No, it's okay. If you have a back finish, it's like I
Shut
accept it.
up.
I won't judge you. That's pretty cool though. Had you like met any like gay people that you did actually have some interest in, or just in general? Like, do you have any gay friends? Cause like okay,
do I have gay friends?
yeah,
Like,
cause like at our school, you don't really hear that much about.
I guess I'll sway. You know who that is?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, but he's not. He's like an acquaintance. Like I don't really talk to him or anything. Other than that, though, all my like gay friends would be girls essentially. Like I don't actually have any males that I know that are gay.
Yeah.
That are my friends. It's which isn't shocking to me because I didn't know many throughout high school, or even none at all. Like Josue was really the only one, and like even like me like right now, like I've made none, like zero. Maybe I think that'll change next year. Excuse me, but like as of now, no, I don't have any gay friends, which sucks. Actually, I should have some.
Yeah. I mean, does that bother you though? That like most of your guy friends are straight?
I just think they're fucking weird.
I bet. Do you have any like celebrity crushes?
Actually, yeah, I do. I have a few.
Okay, top three.
Top three.
Or it doesn't have to be celebrities, just like anyone, you know?
Okay, Tom Holland.
I
Tom Holland. Also, I have news for you about Spider-Man, which actually is kind of bad.
I'll punch you. Don't do this. You're gonna make me cry. Why is it bad?
I'll show you later. Oh, it's kind of just like that shouldn't have happened.
What? Spoilers? Did someone
No,
die?
not spoilers.
Someone died.
No.
Someone got fired.
No. It's more company issues that can affect the franchise basically.
The director got fired.
Sony and was it Disney, Marvel? Either one of them, they couldn't like come into like an agreement for like the franchise of Spider-Man, and so I think they broke off their like terms. So like technically, Spider-Man isn't in the MCU anymore.
So
But like, let's see what happens in the next like week or so. Maybe they will be able to come to an
they
agreement.
better. You can't just have Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's literally an Avenger, so
He's literally the face of the Avengers for the next like 10 years. So the fact that they can't have him, I'm done. Like I'm quitting. I'm not watching. I'm going back to DC. Like I swear.
I mean, obviously, the next Spider-Man movie is gonna come out, but like after that, that's questionable, basically.
I'm gonna cry. I mean, Spider-Man means so much to me, and I was so happy when they finally put him in the MCU. I waited for so long, and now they took him out.
Well, let's see. Let's see if they actually really.
No, there's no way that's real.
It's a tweet.
What's a tweet? No,
It's an article.
I don't care about no article. It could just be a blog. It could
No,
be someone.
it's an actual news article.
What the hell, man? This it killed my mood.
It's okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's me for later. I don't even know where we are. I don't even care anymore.
Celebrity crushes.
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. That's a sensitive name now.
No, it is. I'm not allowed to say those initials.
RM from BTS. I love him. I love him with all my life. And then Shawn Mendes. 100%.
Oh yeah, he's a cutie for sure. I think Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Joseph Gordon-Levitt. You know?
Really?
I think he's cute.
Yeah.
He's good looking. No? Also, he's like really
Fine.
talented too.
Yeah, he's talented.
Dance, sing, play instruments. Like, bro, he's also really funny. I heard he has a really good personality. I heard he's just a really nice person in general.
Omar Apollo.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Heck
my
yeah.
god, the man.
Dude, his music.
I miss him.
Shout out to Leslie. She showed me.
Thank you, Leslie.
He's so good. He's so good.
I love him. I miss him. Oh my god, he went on tour again, but he didn't come back here. It's more like an East Coast tour. I was like, are you serious? I literally would have went a second time. Like, no cap. I would have done meet and greet the second time too. Like, no cap. Like,
I bet you they wait a long time for that.
meet and greet? Not really, actually.
Really? Usually they last like the line is like 2 hours.
Well, at least when I went, it wasn't even that long. Like, there's time left over to where like he actually started like talking to like all of us, and we got to like talk to him and like converse with him basically.
Oh.
Because there wasn't a lot of people who got meet and greet tickets basically. So like it was pretty like short-ish line, and so like we all got to like hug him, take pictures with him. But then once all that was done, we all got like to talk to him and like ask him like questions stuff like that. And, like I took more pictures with him too. So it's like.
Oh yeah, I feel like you showed me pictures.
Yeah, I showed you pictures.
Yeah, he's your boyfriend.
Oh.
Yeah, we should agree with that. They're dating. They're dating. It's a proven fact. I'll put his Insta right here too. I bet they have pictures together.
We do.
Yeah,
On my
see?
Instagram.
Yeah, see, they're dating. It's official. They just only put their names in the bio.
I wish.
What if you just like text you and just like, hey, Ronnel, like, after that day,
Shut up.
I miss you, and like
up.
your presence and the feeling of your shirt and the smell of your makeup. Oh.
He signed, so he gave everyone a signed poster, and that's going front and center on my wall next year.
I was.
And Alex was like, yeah, I look cool. I have like Omar Apollo's signature on my wall. I'm like, okay, it's mine.
Whatever. I guess you own it now. I guess it is coming down to that. But there's one thing that I did want to bring up is, okay, first time I met you, the first thing I remember saying to you or thinking about you was, okay, one, his hair's white.
Yes,
At the time.
at the time. It will be white again in about a month.
And the second thing is, damn, your fucking makeup. Your makeup was like, woo. Now, I don't know where to start with
Wait,
that.
you met me on a date where I had makeup on?
No, it's not even that. It's like my first impression. Like we didn't actually say any words to each other. I just remember you were coming in with like Peony and like some other friends, and like you had like a lot of makeup on, and it was like really like good. And I'm just like, dude, like you compared to like most girls, they're just like, dude, they're like shits compared to you. And I was just like, dude, he's popping right now, bro. Like, hey, again, Instagram, it'll be in the link in the description, also in the beginning of the video. Check out his Insta. He has a lot of pictures with his
Do have
makeup
a lot
on,
of pictures.
and he's literally a makeup like artiste. He's a makeup guru. I don't know. He's just like, when did you start like wearing makeup?
Freshman year actually, but it was very, very minimal. Like so the way I like to do things when I learn about new things, I like to take them in steps. And
Yeah.
so I kind of just went in steps in terms of like a makeup routine. So I learned about foundation first, and then that's what I first bought. And then I like played around with it and like found out what I liked and like things like that. And I just kept going like that. So like over like the course of that year and sophomore year, I really kind of just like built it up basically until to what it is now, which is like pretty good in my opinion. Not to brag, but like I think I can do makeup.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was like, it was a very gradual process, but it ended up paying off because I like to take my time. But at least things like that, and like I was really interested in it. So like I was constantly watching like YouTube videos on like how to apply, eyeshadow perfectly and things like that. And I really just like learned a lot of tips and like also like curated what I like for myself too. Once I started realizing like, okay, I can do it this way, but I can do it another way too that I like better. And then I really learned how to like work with my skin and stuff. And then even then, like once I like kind of like perfected my makeup, I learned about skincare. And then I really delved into that because I was like, you can't have good makeup if you don't have good skin, basically. And so my mom always scared me about me like breaking out like badly. She was like, you might have good skin now, but you know later. And so like I really wanted to like prevent that as best as I can, which I think I have now. Like I rarely ever get pimples, and if I do, they go away within the next day, basically. And so
It's literally a blessing. Literally a blessing.
it's like half genetics, half skincare, basically.
Nice.
But like, yeah, like I started doing it freshman year, and then it kind of just built up to what it is now. And like even now, I'm just too lazy to do a full face. Like I'm wearing makeup now, but this isn't a lot for me. But like, I think I've perfected. But then also it's like I've never stopped learning. Like I can keep going, and I can like keep learning new techniques and things like that. It's a good creative outlet for me because I guess you could say I'm a very creative person, or like I like creative things, like I used to be in band.
Yeah.
I used to be really interested in like playing instruments and things like that because I essentially learned them really fast, and so like I really liked music. But then I dropped band like freshman year because I was like, I don't have room for this, and I don't think I want to continue it. So then I needed another creative outlet, and then it turned into makeup basically.
I bet. Have you ever been like offered? Like, has someone ever was like, hey, I'd pay you if you like did my makeup, or like?
I've never gotten paid for it. I usually just do it for people. Like Michaela, like I did her makeup on this day.
Oh wow.
Well, you can barely see it here, but like I've done her makeup the most. But like if one of my close friends was like, Ronnel, can you do my makeup for this thing? I'm like, yeah, like go ahead, like I'll do it. I don't care. And so far, like that was the first time I've done makeup on someone. It was her debut, and so it really like showed me. I was like, yeah, I like doing this too, but I don't think I would ever. That's like career plan C as makeup artist.
Yeah. I could see you having it as like a side job.
Oh, I probably do this as a side job, yeah. But it's just a lot of work.
It is.
You have to deal, like you get really close to a person if you're at their face, and so it's like you have to know how to like conversate and like really like know what the best thing is for your clients and things like that, and really curate what you're doing towards them. Because if I'm just doing it on like me, I know what works for me, right? And if I'm doing it on like a friend, like I can just use what works for me on them, but then also I make them tell me like what they like versus what I like, and I just kind of curate it to them. But even that's a lot of work. I don't have like a full makeup kit like an makeup artist would have. I have a lot of makeup, like it's all just for me, you know. So I wish I got paid for it, but I don't care.
Yeah, yeah. Last question would be, where's your like go-to place for like good makeup, like, good quality makeup?
Ulta, because I mean, they just have drugstore, have like high-end makeup, I guess. But like any place, any drugstore, even Sephora, like you can find high-quality makeup anywhere. You just really need to know what you're looking for, whether it be like looking up reviews on YouTube or like knowing what your skin wants or needs. It's like you can find it anywhere at any price point. You just have to look.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Okay.
Who knows? Maybe I'll need makeup for my future movie jobs.
Oh.
Yeah, I gotta polish up.
Yeah.
So, like all this acting too.
Oh, it'll go away.
Oh wait, actually, yeah. So last question. Last question. You obviously have really good skin.
Thank you.
It's very natural. It's not even makeup. It's like all natural. You know, clear skin. Would be like, what's your advice for getting clear skin? Like, what's like the number one product they use? See, for me, I'm using like coconut oil, and that helped a lot. It's helping. It's helping.
It's so bad for your skin, bro.
It is bad. It is bad.
But I guess like the one thing I can say about skincare is like, please moisturize your skin. Like, please keep it like fully moisturized, because obviously if you have dry skin, you need the moisture you need the hydration. But even if you have oily skin, you still need hydration. You still need moisture, because that's just your skin overcompensating, right? And so like if you like strip all of it, it's just gonna keep overcompensating. Like, oh, I need more oil. Versus like, so I think the one product I would say everyone should have is like the facial oil, because that can really like help balance out the skin. And then there's plenty of different types that like target different things. Like I use rosehip seed oil because I get a lot of dark spots. That sometimes I'll pick my pimples and then it'll leave a dark spot, but that fades them really fast, you know. And you just kind of have to curate what you think would work better for your skin and things like that. So a good facial oil probably help me a lot.
I need to go do that then. Yeah, I got so many holes. I need to go figure that out. Well, I guess that is the end of the podcast. Thank you
Yes.
for joining me.
Of
It was an
course.
honor for having you.
Oh my god, it was an honor being here.
Of course. Good luck at college.
Thank
I
you.
hope that goes well. What are you majoring in?
Business, and then I'm gonna concentrate in marketing.
Nice. I hope that works out for you.
Thank you.
And guys, if you guys want him back, leave a comment and remember to like and subscribe to the video. And yeah, hope you guys have a good day.